So I want to start this video with a quick prayer. Most High, I pray that you cover anyone that comes to my channel. I pray that you cover anyone that has clicked on this video. I pray that you cover them and you show them with your protection, with your unconditional love, with your unconditional guidance. Most High, I pray that you give them the strength that they need to persevere and carry on and do whatever it is that you've called them to do. I pray that all their worries, their burdens, their concerns is lifted up and placed onto you. That way, they can continue to seek you. In the event of seeking you Most High and drawing close to you Most High, I pray that you give them everything that they need, everything that their heart desires in due time. I pray that whatever answers they're looking for, whatever guidance it is that they need, that they receive it from you and only you. Rich Rising, how are you guys doing? I pray that this video finds you in good health. It's funny, it's starting to get windy. It wasn't windy before I did this video, starting this video, so it's interesting. This is probably going to be one of the longer videos. I was watching Swimming with the Void, and I love his channel. He's so informative. Regardless of what sign you are, every sign is mixed with something. There are different sun, moon, risings, Venus, all of the above, placements, wherever you were born at, the time you were born at. I use it as a guide. It's not that I need to, but I do it because I find insight about myself, and that's what I'm continuously doing. I'm learning more about myself each and every day. The places I go, the connections I make, the people I meet, the experiences I have. I'm so blessed. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to attest to, but before I forget, I wanted to start with a protection ritual. I was watching Palladian Mystique. I don't know if I'm saying her channel correctly, but I like to reference some of the channels where I gather information, and I feel like it applies. It's very important with tarot, with even oracle cards. You just take what resonates and you let what doesn't go. Don't force a situation that is not yours. There are many different signs, many different placements, many different people that may or may not be going through something. So it's like, it's not a one shoe fits all type of deal. Maybe you've already passed that point in your life. Maybe you're upcoming that point in your life, or maybe you still have yet to get to that point in your life. So that's my little breakdown of, just taking what resonates and letting the rest fly. But a protection ritual, so I started with a prayer first and foremost because I serve God. I'm not here to force my beliefs onto anyone or what I'm doing with my life onto anyone. It's just a different insight that may or may not help you because it's helped me. I know that just as others have helped me, I've helped them, and just as information has helped me, it could help somebody else. So you just take what you feel works for you, and what doesn't, you leave it. This channel here is a free space, a safe space. I like to talk about any and everything because life is not about, just enjoying the good moments. Everything is gonna get thrown at you, so it's important to learn how to roll with the punches, which is a reason why I don't edit my videos. I record, I allow myself to be used as a vessel. I think I've said this before, and I post whatever I feel guided to post. So getting back to it, a protection ritual. Some of this stuff I wrote down on my notes, not actually writing down because I like the idea of typing it and then I can delete it when I'm done. So the protection ritual is, oh, how cool, my candle blew out. Probably because it got windy. Let me get back to it. A protection ritual. I call back my power to me from every person, place, and entity, from every time, space, portal, and dimension, from every connection, attachment, and vessel where I left it. Anyone and anything that is attempting to cipher my energy, you do not have my consent to use my vitality, and I call my power back. I put myself and anyone watching my messages in a bright light of protection. I return to sender any evil eye, hexes, black magic, curses, or negativity times 3. I receive love, light, blessings, gratitude, and return it back to sender tenfold. And so it is. As it is up above, as it will continue to be, so below. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is Starseeds. Starseeds, old souls, light workers. Whatever you want to title it, you know, there's many different titles, many different hats, but they're all in some kind of connection. For those who resonate with it, or if you're still learning about it, or you're still on your journey to getting a better understanding of it and what it means, do your own research. Again, you don't have to take my word for it. I speak about it because I live through this on a daily basis, so I get confirmations on a daily that I feel guided to talk about these things. So the purpose of light seeds, I said it wrong, light seeds, light workers, star seeds, and old souls. As long as you follow what lights you up, you know, you work out the kinks of what actually makes you feel fulfilled, what you're passionate about, as long as you follow those paths, and you stay true to it and you get lost in doing so, you automatically raise the frequency of the earth, you raise the frequency of the planet, you know. It's just a magical thing. Wherever you go, whatever connections you make, whatever people you meet, whatever places you get sent to, people around can feel your energy, because it's not necessarily yours to keep. Everything that has spirit possesses energy, and when you feed yourself, when you feed your soul, you in return feed everything around you automatically. So that's very special, and that's the significance. Did I say that correctly? I don't know. But that's what's very important of being a light worker, starseed, and old soul. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to do anything or prove anything. Just being placed here and being your true, natural, authentic, cosmic self, you encourage and you motivate others to do the same, regardless of how long it takes. I know that you get the feeling of being the odd person out. You know, you feel different, you feel weird, because you're not like most people. So sometimes you hide yourself in a spiritual closet because you want to dim your light to make others feel comfortable, because you don't want to be the outcast, when in reality that is one of your superpowers. You know, it's a talent, it's a natural gift, it's a natural ability to raise the frequency of the planet. Not every soul is here to do that. Not every soul can possess that. Not every soul will ever do that in the lifetimes that they may reincarnate in. So I don't feel it's anything to be ashamed about. And once you get to a point, or you reach that crossroad in your life where you decide to start living for you, and you decide to start honoring yourself and honoring your soul and just embracing who you are naturally, magic around happens. Things naturally unfold. So, okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is your value contingent on whatever your definition of success is? I believe I've said in a previous video of mine, success is whatever you make it. Don't follow a universal definition of success, a societal definition of success, ancestral, traditional. You are here to be the change that you want to see. And in return, when you do that, when you tap into those waters, when you put out those vibrations, you become more powerful than you were before. So it's very important to use affirmations, use breath work, use subconscious reprogramming, and just steady. You want to be putting out the vibrations of abundance. That way it finds its way back to you. If you don't do the work yourself, you're not going to receive it. That's the way life is. You have to be putting in your work mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. This is a spiritual battle. There are reasons why we can be physically healthy but mentally unwell, or spiritually unwell, or you want to make sure you're feeding yourself and you're giving yourself everything that you need on a daily basis, because no one is going to do that for you. Another thing I wanted to talk about is you have to take the time to recognize your powers, your gifts, and your natural abilities. You have to unchain yourself from anything that tells you otherwise or tries to bring you into a different space, meaning it tries to take you out of alignment. It tries to bring you from the steps that you took so you can start back at square one. And sometimes you do have to start back at square one, but instead of constantly going backwards, learn to be present in the moment. You have to choose you. And I know from my own experience, that's not always easy. I used to be a people pleaser and it lasted for a long time. I'm 28. I would probably say around 24 is when I started to really strip away from that. And even now, because I've been living my life that way for so many years since an early childhood, I still find myself trying to break these old behavior, toxic patterns, because it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and it's not good for me. Why should I be trying to serve the next person if I can't even take care of myself? You have to choose you. You have to put yourself first. You have to stop putting yourself on the back burner, because the next person shouldn't benefit off of the hard work that you've been putting in. You know what I mean? If you can't benefit, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying you should be selfish. When it comes to you, you do have to, because nobody is going to treat you the way you will. Nobody is going to take care of you the way you will. Nobody is going to look out for you the way you will. So you have to have balance. I hope this is making sense, because you're not here to necessarily serve others or serve anybody. Like I said, by being your natural, true, authentic self, by being the cosmic light and special being that you are, you automatically serve the earth. You know what I mean? And in return, you're serving others, because whatever you put out, it finds its way back. And you can tell if you've been doing a good job or not. So getting back to choosing yourself, trusting and listening to your intuition, your internal guidance, and angels and spirit guides, God, whatever you believe in. It's just very important to get on your journey, tap in, find your calling, so life makes a little more sense to you. Whether it's Christ within you, whatever you resonate with, whatever makes sense to you, whatever you feel guided towards, and not everything is going to make sense. So even if you don't believe in anything, you're still protected, because there is something of a higher force that's working in our favors always. The universe conspires to help us. You know what I mean? It's always looking out for our best interests, whether we believe that, whether we take accountability for the truth of that fact or not. You just want to take your time to learn yourself. That way you can learn the things around you, because everything's connected. So whatever you call your divinity or your higher power source, get in tune, tapped in, get in touch with that side. Also, you will be guided. You'll have gut feelings, a sense of knowing that you just have. Base level is your higher self, your divine. And speaking on it specifically, gut feelings, I can say sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it can be discomforting. Sometimes it can be a little unsettling. And it's not a bad thing at all. That just means you're in tune. Sometimes I can get anxiety. And I've been differentiating the difference between mine and somebody else's. Somebody else's, when it gets passed on to me, it can be very overwhelming. Mine's is overwhelming as it is. But if I was calm before I started entertaining a connection, or I got into a connection, and I get in sync with that person, we get connected, whether it's intentional or unintentional, because I am an empath, I feel their emotions, and sometimes it's very intense, and I have to cleanse myself. I have to pray it away. I have to get grounded. I have to release energy that is not mine, that does not belong to me. So usually when something's getting ready to come my way, like lately I've been feeling weird, all out of whack, gut feelings, discomfort in my tummy, I just know change is coming. I don't necessarily know what the future holds, but I'm grateful and I'm open and I'm ready, because I've been praying for change. I've been trying to steadily break habits. That way I can open the doors to new beginnings. I've been allowing things to end, to subside, to be taken away, so better things can be replaced, because I feel like I've learned my lessons. So and this leads me back to the next step, which is when you receive your feelings, you know that, or your emotions, or your nudges, or it's basically spirit trying to get your attention. When you receive these things, it's a reminder that you're moving through blockages, and you get to decide which way you want to go, which way you want to grow, whether you want to go backwards or forwards. It's up to you. If it's a lesson that's been sent your way and you haven't necessarily understood it, grasped it, or comprehended it, you may have to go through it again until you get to a point of where you understand it for whatever lesson it needed to serve, for whatever meaning it was supposed to bring. So liberation happens at the turning point. You don't have to know exactly where you're going or what you're going to create. It'll come once you trust your higher self. Of being guided and led by the divine, you have to release and switch lanes. When you shift your focus and not allow sadness to pull you in and pull you under, you get brought into your destiny. And sadness can be a very unsettling emotion, because I think sometimes we paint a picture in our minds and we don't accept things for what they actually are. All endings bring new beginnings. In order for something to end, it's because something new is getting ready to start. So you definitely have to change your focus. You have to change your mindset. You have to know that something else is coming. And I mean, you can't stay where you are forever. Even if you try to, life is still going to move on. Life is still going to happen. Life is not going to stop for anyone. So you can be stuck on a rut if you want to, if you allow yourself to be. But it's very important to just allow yourself to go with the motions. I've found that life is a lot easier that way. And you will have to give up things. You will have to give up sometimes friends, sometimes connections, sometimes romantic connections, sometimes relationships, sometimes family members, sometimes people, places, and things, experiences. You have to give up things in order for it to get replaced by new things. So, and I feel like anything that's for you, you don't necessarily have to say goodbye to, but you do have to sometimes we go and we grow in opposite directions. So that is the purpose for, you know, having to part ways. It doesn't mean you're not going to see it again. It just means right now you've gained whatever wisdom or whatever peace or whatever lesson you needed to in that moment from that thing, place, or person, or whatever experience it was. So you basically get brought into your destiny when you learn to accept things for what it is and go with emotions. You're a spirit, and you need to start using your ego as a tool instead of being a slave to it. So ego serves instant gratification. Ego serves, you know, short term, for the moment. It's not long lasting. It doesn't have longevity. It doesn't feed your spirit, your soul, your mind, your body. It's something that just kind of, it gives you an instant boost, and you want to make sure that you're feeding yourself. You know, you can have a treat or a snack all day long, but is that the food that you need? Is it feeding your body? Is it giving the nutrients to your body that you need? If you think about it and you look at it in that type of light. So you have to continuously move away from the past, and you need to give thanks and credit for how far you've truly come. My dad used to tell me all the time that I was being hard on myself, and I believe sometimes with being, you know, very adamant at having your way and wanting to control things and trying to be a perfectionist and just having a vision that you want to stick to, that's not how life is. You know, we're going to get surprised every minute of every second along the way. We're going to get constant reminders that we're not in control of anything. So instead of being so hard on yourself, give credit, give thanks, be appreciative of the fact that you're no longer where you used to be. Maybe you're still a far ways from where you're supposed to be, but thank God you're in a different space, in a different place, in a different mindset. You know, you're around different people. You have to be willing to acknowledge and hold yourself accountable for the behavior patterns you've had. You know, whether it was toxic, whether it was healthy, whether it was low vibrational, whether it was high vibrational. You have to understand that you contributed to it some way, some shape, somehow. Yeah. So be grateful and understand how endless the possibilities are. You will reach a point, because I feel like that's where I am. I was told it, and now I'm repeating it to you because the information is not mine to hold on to. You faced the devil, right? You've conquered your demons, right? And now, how special, how magical is it that you get to teach others to do the same? Sorry if I'm getting emotional. I'm an empath. But it's an amazing thing. It's a blessing to be able to pass on what helped you to the next person, because you don't know how that can, will, may not affect them. Maybe they'll be able to use some type of tool that you use and overcome something that they were struggling with, whether it's addictions, toxic behavior patterns, substances, alcohol, anything that pulls you away from yourself. It's a distraction, and that's what is mainly going on in this world at this very moment, to this very day. It's been happening for all these years, but it's starting to get more and more intense, and you just want to make sure you are being grounded and you're checking in with yourself, because you're important, you're needed, you're special. And you also get to enjoy life now. You know, once you've made it through the pits of hell, you are going to be placed in a beautiful, magical space of peace, you know, space of abundance, space of just different scenery. And sometimes you may feel like you're not worthy, or it's too good to be true, or you doubt yourself, you don't feel like you're supposed to be there. But in reality, if you put in the hard work, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, all these things, right? Why not? And that's what life is about. So I'm gonna close this video with letting you know that the weight of the world, it's not yours to carry, so it's very important for you to let it go. There's a bug on me. Bye, bug. And just remember, your reality is your divine mirror. You have to figure out what it is showing you and what it is trying to tell you. If you don't like something, you have free will, you have the power, you have the ability to change it. All you have to do is take the time out to understand what's going on, why this may be happening. You're not always going to have understanding or reasons why, and I would say don't allow it to plague your mind either. But what you can do, a little trick, is pray, meditate, fast, drink water, get out in nature, get grounded, go for a swim, go be by a body of water, go for a hike, go walk barefoot, go sit down barefoot, sit in grass, hug a tree. There are many different things you can do to get grounded. Pray for serenity, pray for courage, pray for wisdom. And you pray for these things because you're needing help. You can't do anything by yourself. And even if you feel like and you think that you're by yourself, you're not. There's always somebody watching. There's always somebody looking out for your best interest. There's always somebody and something looking out to help you, but you have to be open to help, and you have to ask for it as well. So when you pray, ask for serenity to accept the things that you cannot change. Ask for courage to change the things that you can, and ask for wisdom to know the difference. It's very important when you pray, you ask for what you want and what you need, and then you need to meditate so it can come to you. I hope this video found you in good health, and I pray for your protection. I pray for your guidance. I pray for your enlightenment. I pray for your groundedness, and I pray that as you continue on your path, there's an airplane going by, that you find and you receive all the things you were looking for inside you. Because once you understand it's always been within, in return it starts to manifest through other people, places, things. You're magical. And in case no one has told you, you're beautiful, you're special, you are loved, you are guided, and you are protected. Namaste, guys.